Hello, everybody. What's up? Hello. I'm sorry. I have the local news on here, and the thing says protest turns violent in Santa Monica, where I live. I was just down there. It's 3:20 in the afternoon. The mayor of Santa Monica just said there's a 4 p.m. curfew. What's up, everybody? I'm going to bring Fiorella on the show to talk about what happened last night. Please share this. I have not watched the Epstein series. I'm really going to be focusing. I was just at the protests, and I have video footage I want to bring. I was live streaming from it earlier, so sound is on and good, Graham. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hold on. I got to bring Fee here. This has been a crazy day. It's the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 5th day of riots, or protests that have become riots largely due to the police department. It's the 5th day in Los Angeles. It's the first day it's come to Santa Monica, where I live, and I want to talk about that. So, but Fiorella has footage from, she was at the protest yesterday. Oh, brain freeze, sorry. Whew. I'm going to try to get all this. I'm sorry, I'm doing like 10 things at once. So one thing I want to do here is I'm going to invite Fiorella on. I need to upload this footage that I got. So hold on. I want to show you. So this I want to show you. I was live streaming earlier today, and for about an hour or so, the stream kind of cut in and out because it's, there's no Wi-Fi. But all right, guys, be patient with me. Fee's here. Fee, can you hear me? I can't hear you. And your camera's you're not horizontal. Okay, the picture's good, but I still can't hear you. Nope. Hold on. Actually, my phone was like dying, so I got to charge it. Still nothing, Fee. Nope. Still nothing. Let me look at my audio settings. Maybe there's a setting on my end that's not good because I still cannot hear you, Fee. No. Let's see. Still nothing. Still nothing. Hold on. Whoops. What did I do? Shit. Sorry. Did I get rid of you, Fee? Damn it. There we go. There she is. There she is. Okay, admit. Hey. Still can't hear you. Let me go into Zoom preferences and see. It feels like it's on your end. But yeah, I've got it all on my end because my audience can hear me. Fiorella again. Yeah. Still can't hear anything. Let's see. Audio, test mic, use separate audio device to play radio. Still can't hear you, Fee. No, I can't. Yeah. So I see it's picking it up somewhere. What's going on? What? Everyone can hear it on. Let me ask my audience if they. Can any of you, can you guys hear? You just hear us. Okay, yeah, they can't hear you, Fee. Sorry. Why am I so small? God, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sometimes OBS lately has been a little it's been a little weird. It just suddenly will put me in the corner of the frame, and I don't understand why it does that. There it is. That should have fixed it. So let me see. Still nothing, Fee. I still can't hear you. I don't know, Fee. If Zoom's a problem, we can do Skype. Microphone. Okay. We'll get Fee on here in a sec, folks. This is indie media at its finest. Tinygram is back big again. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm big again. I'm big again. So the Los Angeles Board of Supervisors declares a state of emergency. There's a protest, looks very peaceful in downtown Los Angeles. And there's also in Santa Monica. Santa Monica. So, yeah, curfew is going to be in place in 30 minutes in Santa Monica. You got to be kidding me. 216 watching, 79 likes. Please hit the like button, everybody. That helps what I do. Okay, so here's Fiorella again. Sorry, I'm doing 500 things at once. Feet. I can see you, but still no here. All right. Let's go. Yeah, she's having some trouble on that end. Let's go. Let's try Skype. Sometimes there just is a weird connectivity thing. I don't know what's going on. Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching. It is Sunday, May 31st. Let me do. Let's see if Skype kicks in here. Right now, yeah, that's That's downtown. Where the hell is that?
Protesters on this side of the street at this point, they're all sitting in the roadway. It's kind of incredible to see how the protest not only regathered, but actually on two sides it looks to be even larger than it had been before the police had fired tear gas into the crowd.
The police fired tear gas into the crowd.
Because there's so much happening at once, and I know you're trying to keep the camera rolling and keep your eye on these different groups. Do you have any idea what led up to that incident where the tear gas was fired? Was there some kind of an altercation?
I didn't see any kind of an altercation. It was really sudden that I saw the fire and that tear gas, and everyone just kind of ran to the south of the Santa Monica Pier. So
Jesus.
Perhaps the police.
I'm going to show you some footage to show you Santa Monica is completely overreacting.
Something like that. But if that was the case, these people definitely are not standing down. Again, everything that I've seen here along Ocean Avenue has been completely peaceful. But you do see now these people getting right up to the police and talking with them, definitely getting into their face, and things may be getting a little bit heated here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. We've been talking yesterday about the fact that this is happening during a pandemic, and people, especially health officials, have asked people to stay apart even when they're demonstrating. We didn't see that yesterday. We're not seeing that today, but we are seeing some people wearing masks, including some of the police officers.
Wow.
Some of them have riot gear on, and face shields as part of that. But people are getting very close right here.
Yeah, the cops show up with riot gear.
Like people are hugging and everything is okay, even though they're getting close and they may be having some kind of heated discussion. But it doesn't look like anything is happening in the way of a confrontation. Desmond, Kris has been talking about this for the past several minutes now, the fact that we're coming up on this very early curfew in Santa Monica, one of the earliest we have seen since all of this
God.
4 o'clock. And we're going to have to see if all of these people...
I'm on Skype.
The police have the ability to arrest people for defying the curfew doesn't mean that they will. Yeah, we saw people hugging a couple minutes ago. This is by no means... It looked like it might have been heated discussion, but I don't think it was tense in the way of protesters arguing with police or vice versa. I think they were actually... it's some common ground in their discussion there. But Desmond, I wonder if we are going to see them move people out at 4 o'clock. We didn't see that when the curfew set in Los Angeles yesterday in terms of the minute that happened, police started moving people out.
4 o'clock curfew? I mean, that's just insane.
I don't know. What do you think?
Does that mean they're going to go get everyone on the beach? Everybody rollerblading and riding their bikes all over Santa Monica?
The situation is still so chaotic with looters going in and out of stores. That's probably going.
Oh, these helicopters. All these helicopter guys just talk about the looting and they're going in and out of stores and all this nonsense, man.
Stores are not being broken into. I would have to think that that's going to be the priority over protesters if protesters are simply sitting here peacefully in the street.
God, I can't.
It's going to be very difficult with Santa Monica police spread so thin across so many areas in downtown, especially with the looting continuing. And like I was saying earlier, as soon as they manage to secure one building, we hear about stores being broken into just a couple of blocks down the street.
All right. Trying to find.
They're trying to make sure that protesters are safe and that people who are driving by or walking by are safe, and they're also
Let's find.
things that are happening. It looks like we're actually seeing some movement now. People running down the street. Do we know what happened there? I know you just had a camera over.
Yeah, I just came over to look here, and it looks like here you see Santa Monica police now. They are firing tear gas into the crowd. They are trying to disperse this crowd, and that may have been what the protesters were talking with the police on the other side when we saw them getting into their face. Maybe they were saying, please don't do this, don't make us disperse. But you can see that is what Santa Monica PD is doing now at this point as they move forward with tear gas. And once again, this crowd is beginning to scatter. We're now just south of the 10 freeway going south on Ocean Avenue. Now,
Okay.
They just did this about 20 minutes ago, and then the crowd reassembled. So we're just going to have to see what happens with this situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens because in a little more than 20 minutes, their curfew will start in Santa Monica. And as Lori told us, they're actually they want to prohibit people from getting into the city of Santa Monica. They're shutting down off ramps in that area to make sure. Oh, it's Hotel, yeah, to make sure that people don't get in that area. But when we were watching the protesters speak with police, we did see some hugs and we did see some conversation, and basically, The moral of the story is conversation needs to be out there from both sides, and just seeing images like that is very powerful. Conversation and communication is everything.
There we go.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I gotta put the local news on mute because they're showing me all this stuff going on through their lens, of course.
Okay.
But you can see and hear me okay?
Yes, I can totally see and hear you.
Okay, since this chews up a lot of my CPU, at some point I'm gonna probably have to just stop my camera, but you'll still be able to hear me.
Yep.
So let me shut down Zoom. Okay. Yeah, so, oh God, this is nuts.
Yeah. It's hard to, put into words what's been going on, man. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it is really hard to put it into words. I just want to make sure my audience, can you guys hear Fee? Fee, can you talk for a little bit?
Yeah. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Just let me know if you can hear.
Yes, if you guys can hear me, that would be awesome, so we can get going. You can hear me?
I can hear. We can hear each other.
Actually,
everybody can hear Fee. Just let me know if you can hear Fee, everybody.
hello.
We hear Fee. Okay, great. And I don't know why. God, OBS just keeps minimizing my frame. I don't know why OBS does this.
Man, that's a Johnny question. He might know. I'm like, OBS, like, yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Please hit the like button. Okay, I just want to do this real quick. You can see and hear everybody. Everybody hear both. Great. Everybody can hear everybody. Outstanding. I just want to queue up. I have some video that I just got down in Santa Monica, and we're gonna look at some of your video as well. You sent me a link, right?
Yeah, it's very much towards the very end where they started arresting us. So if you wanted to show that part.
Damn, you guys got arrested?
Yeah, breaking news, you guys, if you didn't know, Jonathan and I were arrested, but we weren't really arrested because they couldn't book us because their holding cells were full with a bunch of protesters, and so we got a citation we have to show up for, but we didn't get booked, so technically we didn't get arrested, but they handcuffed us with brutally with these zip ties, but they super tightened them, and they were just awful people to us. We didn't do anything. We were just videoing.
Right.
So,
well, we'll get into that whole thing in a sec. I'm just waiting for this footage that I got today to upload. So it's your screen is tiny. Why does this fucking keep happening? My screen keeps going tiny. I don't know why this keeps happening. Hold on, Arno, it keeps doing that. It keeps making itself tiny. Technology drives me fucking crazy. This is Arno, keeps doing that, and I reset it, then it goes back. Any thoughts? All right, so we got a bunch of tech stuff. You can hear her, great. Read the feed. Will this media evolve or dissolve? I don't know. Max the frame grant. Look, you guys, I'm aware of the frame thing. It keeps doing that. I'm not unaware of that. This will be now the third time that I've gone into OBS to fix that. So I can't. If it keeps doing this, I don't know what to do. At some point, we're just gonna have to live with us in the small corner. But Johnny is spinning on the ones and twos. Something is set to automatic is what Arno is saying. So let's go into settings, folks. I know it's so exciting doing a tech thing. So they just closed the freeway off-ramp. So for those of you who don't live in Los Angeles, Santa Monica is at the end of the 10 freeway, basically. It is the last city west before the ocean. It sits right on the ocean. So that's how you come into this city. You take the 10 freeway. There's obviously surface streets and there's public transportation, but apparently they have just shut down the off-ramps. So if you live in Santa Monica and you want to try to get home, they're making it really different. All right, automatically check for updates. Oh, something is set to automatic. Snap sources to edge of screen. That feels like it might be it. You're getting a lot of drop frames. I don't know what that means. Okay, so let me go. All right, I'm going to shut down my camera because it's burning up too much CPU. So Fee, right now you're going to just hear me.
Okay.
The video's choppy, so that's might be part of it. Hide overflow, show preview fields, multi-view, click to switch between scenes. But I am at full screen now. All right, quick to switch. It just went small screen. Multi-view layout. Nope. I don't want multi-view layout. How do we do that? Let me apply that. It just happened again. Just went to the small screen again. Unreal. Use preset. Keeps doing that. Hello, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We're trying to work through some tech stuff. Arno is texting me, which is helpful. I just shut down my video camera. This is Santa Monica right here, and they shot tear gas into the crowd in Santa Monica. Man, it must have happened 20, 30 minutes after I left.
Jeez. Damn.
And they're down at the Venice Pier. Oh. Full screen is very choppy. It then tries to make the small screen improve choppiness. Never seen it do that before. Yeah, it's weird. Now we're back to full screen. All right, it's back to full screen. Huh. I want to see what this local media jackass is saying.
Protest started at noon is long gone, and I don't see anybody here right now that was here earlier for the protest. But they want to give a point across that the Black Lives do matter. That was the key, and the number of people I talked to said they think.
I'm good. Okay. Looks like we fixed it. All right.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. Greg, thank you for updating us. Greg's out in Huntington Beach for the Black Lives Matter protest. The other two that we are following.
There was one in Huntington Beach.
Los Angeles, another one in Santa Monica. In Santa Monica, their curfew is expected to hit in the next 14 minutes.
There's a curfew in Santa Monica that's supposed to hit in 14 minutes. I'm curious, are they going to pull all these people off the beach and the bike path and, you know?
This is insane.
And of course they put stores and businesses looted.
They may just be waiting until 4 o'clock to begin to arrest people at this point. Now, twice we've watched them fire tear gas into the crowd. Twice the crowd is dispersed.
They fired tear gas into the crowd twice in Santa Monica.
Unbelievable.
Well, okay. I think I've heard enough bullshit for today. Okay, I think this looks like we've got it. Everyone can see and hear me. It's the buffering has stopped because I shut down my my thing. My stream's looking good according to Arno. Okay. So I'm gonna. Stream is looking good. Okay. Thanks everybody. Thanks for all the help. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Thank you, Arno. Thank you, all the citizens of Gotham. Okay. So this is still initializing. Oh man, why is that video taking so long? And then where'd the other one go? Hold on, everybody. I'm just trying to get this video squared away so we can see. I'm going to cancel that. That's actually taking too long. So we're going to look at that another way. That's a 9-minute video. All right, we'll just show that in QuickBooks when that pops up. Okay. No, that's not. All right. Holy shit, this is fucking crazy. Why is this such a problem to see? Why is this a black screen? I don't know what did. Oh. Okay. Protest 5/31/20. I don't know how else to. Okay, sorry folks. I'm just trying to get this video footage. I really want to show it to you while Fee and I talk about this. So I really want to show you how this fucking cop was just a complete asshole out of line. Okay, there it is. All right. And then we'll do this one. I want to get these queued up. Well, that's from Russia. No, I don't know that that's pertinent today. This one, this 41-second one. Oh, hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. That always helps what we're doing when you like, share, and subscribe. And if you can send this out on your, I don't know where this video went, but we're going to start that one. I want to push that one out. Yeah, the Santa Monica police are lining up now for this like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock curfew.
This is unbelievable.
This is unfucking believable. Like what? Like what? Unlawful assembly? Oh, are they going to claim that again?
We are awful here in California. Everybody's just finding out how awful we are.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, they are. They're just finding out how awful the police is, and.
You're seeing it. You're seeing it in real time. I mean, the thing that's like. Is this it? Where is it? Come on now. Freeway off-ramps have been closed. There's people at the park on Ocean Avenue. I was just down there, man.
Jeez.
You
missed it.
I was just down there.
Well, good thing you didn't get arrested, Graham. They would have arrested you. They would have said you didn't count as a journalist. So
Yeah, I know. And I have footage of a cop car plowing through, you know, almost hitting people, telling people to get the fuck out of the way. And I'm going to send this to the city of Santa Monica's police department and say, is this how you train your officers? Because I want, and I'm going to get into it in a second here, but like, it's unfucking believable. Okay, looks like we got the stream all squared away. 173 likes, 247 likes. Please hit the like button, everybody. That always helps. All right. Where knows? Hold on, everybody. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
I'm just gonna take over now.
Okay. All right, everybody. I think I'm good here. Everyone can see okay. Okay. All right, Fee, you good?
Yeah, I'm great.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching The Political Vigilante. It is Sunday, May 31st at 3:53 p.m. Why is 3:53 significant? Because in Santa Monica, where I live, there's protests that I was just at. I live streamed from there. The city of Santa Monica has said that there is a curfew that is going to be in effect here in about 7 minutes. And I have the news. If you see me looking over that way, I have the news on with the sound down. And they're just slowly pushing people out there. So I was at the, I'm here with Fiorella Isabella from the Convo Couch. Fee, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm great. I'm okay. I'm a free woman. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just down there today, and I'm going to show some video footage in a second. I'm going to talk about kind of what I saw today, and I know you were down in LA the last couple days, and you have some footage for us to look at. But what I saw today was a peaceful protest, and I saw the cops. It started at Montana and Ocean Boulevard. So Santa Monica is a city of 90,000 people. It's its own city. It has its own police and fire department. It is part of Los Angeles County, but it is its own city. It has its own mayor, its own city council, city hall, all that stuff. So, and that, why that is significant, because we've seen, and Fee's going to touch on this in a second, how LAPD responds. But this was Santa Monica Police Department today, and I just want to give people a background. So I've lived in Santa Monica for about 17 years. I've lived in Los Angeles for over 20, but Santa Monica is a nice little beach town. It's grown, it's gotten bigger. It's a big tourist spot. There's a beach, there's the 3rd Street Promenade, which is like an open air mall. A lot of show businesses, industries are here. A lot of tech is here. There's big fancy high-end hotels. It's an international tourist destination. There's the Santa Monica Pier, there's these beaches. And it's largely a white community. It's got some diversity because it's Los Angeles, but to be honest, LA is Santa Monica is a largely white community. And why I think this protest was really important today, and I said this during my live stream, which is archived so you can watch it, is nice, comfortable white America needs to get involved in this. And I said this Wednesday night when I was live streaming and the protests first started. Is somebody held a sign up that said, you know, Rodney King happened 28 years ago. What's changed? Nothing. I mean, nothing. Maybe it's even gotten worse. And so there was at this protest, it was the fact that they're like, oh, it's angry young black people or whatever. It was everybody. It was like the whole city of Los Angeles. And I saw a lot of people that I could tell or knew. I was like, they live in Santa Monica. They look like Santa Monica residents who were down there protesting, getting involved. And it was a peaceful protest at the corner. And I live streamed this at the corner of, right at the corner there. Everybody took over the intersection and everyone got on a knee and there was like a minute of silence. Everybody just on their knee with their fists in the air, and it was the most peaceful thing. And people stopped, and people were on their balconies coming out of their nice apartments that have views of the ocean and everything. And I was like, white people really need to wake up to this fact. And I say this as I'm a straight white male. I grew up middle class, but I have a lot of privilege, and I know it. I've seen my white privilege. I've seen how it happens. I grew up to like the cops, to trust the cops, to officer friendly, to I'm not afraid of the police when I go out here in Santa Monica, when I go walk to the beach with my surfboard under my arm. I'm not afraid that they're going to do stuff. And how the police are reacting today in Santa Monica is how they react all over the place, all the time. And white people, part of the reason why it's important for white people to go to these protests is they need to see how this happens. So everyone's protesting peacefully, and then everyone gets up off their knee, and they're chanting, and they're saying, freedom. No one's saying, there was no kill the cops sign. There was none of that. Nobody was violent. And then the cops show up on Montana Boulevard. When I first got there, there was about a dozen motorcycle cops, and they were a good 50 to 75 yards away. Just like, okay, we're just here. And then they show up on Montana in riot gear with guns and the ties around their vest. And I'm like, and I said to him, I go, why? They're showing up wanting this. And then the local news helicopters fly over, Bob, and I'm watching how the local news is depicting what's happening in my city. I was just fucking there. So so this is how it goes. And one of the things I was doing is the cops show up ready to go. They are ready to go. And then I started live streaming around the back because I was looking, because we've seen all this video footage of undercover cops and white nationalists. We saw this like neo-Nazi guy tell his members to go loot in Minnesota. We've seen that St. Paul, Minnesota cop was the one smashing out the windows Wednesday at the AutoZone. And so I was looking for that, because then there's video footage of big white dudes like at the back of a protest. Everybody comes up against the cops like this, right? And they're right in front, and these are the cops and these are the people. And then there's guys behind them like pushing, starting, and I was looking. I wanted to videotape it, and I wanted to see if that went down, because I saw the cops ramp it up. And then the helicopter, you watch the local news, it is basically a PR. It is positive PR for the police. Yep. It's unbelievable. They just like, right now, it says right now, breaking news on CBS and Los Angeles, stores and business looted. There's no mention of cops overreacting. There's no mention of cops they shot tear gas. So I'm going to show the video that I took myself in a second here. But Fee, what have you seen overall? And we'll get into some specifics. So how many days have you been in downtown Los Angeles for these protests, and what have you seen?
So I went Wednesday during the afternoon for the first one. That was it's always happens on Wednesday. Black Lives Matter has this protest called Jackie Lacey Must Go, because she's our DA and she refuses to prosecute killer cops. Now, to the people that lead with identity politics, by the way, Jackie Lacey is a black woman, but she still refuses to prosecute cops because she makes money off of it. I mean, they do a play-to-play with each other. And so they were protesting that plus George Floyd. And that initially started extremely calm. Everybody was chanting, making speeches, and then there was a little bit of a walk. And just like you mentioned in Santa Monica, the protesters went into the road, the highway, and it was the 101. And they were trying to stop traffic, because that is the point of a protest peacefully, is to stop traffic in a way to sort of draw attention to the cause that you are presenting. And they stopped traffic and they went to the other side. And all of the cops were letting them do their thing, okay, and we're stopping the traffic. But of course, then comes CHP, the California Highway Patrol, from the back, and they are like pushing through crowds of people instead of going the other way, which is where all the other cars were going. They decided to push through a huge crowd of people. And then, of course, the protesters were trying to stop them getting in front of the car. And at one point, they weren't able to stop them. One of the protesters got on the hood of the car, and they, instead of slowing down, sped up. And then the protester fell, and somebody threw a skateboard. The guy who threw a skateboard was a white kid that had likely nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, because he wasn't even marching along. He just came out of nowhere, and he broke the back window of the cop car. And then there was another cop car that didn't stop. Obviously now people are afraid because this kid fell off and he's on the ground lying motionless, so everybody thinks he's dead. And so the cop just drives off. The other one also drives off. And then there's another object thrown at him as well. And they just continue driving off. But what you will see in the mainstream media, as Graham perfectly pointed it out, is that they frame it like, oh, let's just start filming here. Look, oh, they're surrounding the cop car. Look, these protesters are trying to destroy this cop car. Oh my God, like, poor cops, look, they're just trying to get away. And that's the narrative that the mainstream media has been pushing all along. 100%.
I mean, I did this. I'm sorry to interrupt, but to clarify, to crystallize that point, is on Wednesday I showed during my live stream, and I just released the clip of that. This Fox 11, the local Fox affiliate here in Los Angeles, from the helicopter, the guy said, sounded like a white guy. The reporter goes, I don't know why they're mad at CHP. George Floyd happened in Minneapolis. Like, how out of touch do you gotta be? Like, what did LAPD ever do? You know, like, it's unbelievable that they're just so completely out of touch and always frame it as the cops were just reacting. When the cops come in to provoke, I mean,
that's what they did.
Oh, you and I, look, you and I have met up, and a bunch of we've met up at a anti-no war with Iran protest, with the Sunrise Movement, with Greta Thunberg, and there's cops there, but they have baseball caps on, and they're just there just to make sure nothing gets too crazy. Okay, fine. They let us block the streets. They let us go wherever we want, but they didn't show up like, oh, Greta Thunberg, I better have a clip ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to arrest all these 10-year-old girls. But God forbid a couple of black people get together and then they got to show up ready to roll. It's unbelievable, man. And
yeah, you can't say that's not true. You know what I mean? It's obvious. There's differences.
And I think, a lot of white people protesting, joining in today. Again, they look like well, now the curfew in Santa Monica is 6 p.m. Beverly Hills is 6 p.m. Los Angeles, 8 p.m. Culver City, 8 p.m. Pasadena, 8 p.m. West Hollywood, 8 p.m.
Jesus.
So, but I want to. So, what is the footage that you have to show us?
Yeah, right. So then Thursday night we went into at night and we were protesting. While people were protesting, we were filming it. Nothing happened. The same thing. We just saw an over excess of cops arresting people. There was a little bit of looting, and the cops were heavily armed with riot gear. Right? They have massive riot gear. But yesterday took on a whole new level. So we went to a protest in West Hollywood. West Hollywood obviously is a very LA area. And what I mean by that, it's like where all the actors, a lot of them reside. There's a lot of, a lot of celebrities that live there. Expensive stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of these things, right? It's representative of that. Then, of course, the protest started at noon. But it went on for a long time. There was a multitude of speakers and people were just speaking. Jesus. And then they started marching. And there was a point at about like after 4 o'clock where they started marching that the police started out getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So what they do is they call for backup. They continue calling for backup. And then they have like hundreds of police officers with their riot gear, meaning like their face coverings, their masks, their everything. And so we were near the CVS in West Hollywood. That's pretty close to a gas station. And the whole video that I have is the protesters holding signs, holding their hands up and saying, hands up, don't shoot. hands up, don't shoot. And the police began surrounding them and started shooting rubber bullets in front of them, onto people. And they started doing that even though these protesters were literally like with their hands up and not shooting. They had their signs, like, you know, half holding their signs, half not. Some of them had put their signs down. Then they took a knee and they went down and were saying hands up, don't shoot. And the police were sneaking around the sides and starting to shoot at people. And there was no provocation. There was no, you know, disruptor trying to start anything. That's the majority of these protesters are completely just trying to make the point that police need to not be violent to people of color, specifically, in general to everybody, but specifically to Black people, and need to not kill them. And these people, if you look at the policemen, they're pretty much hungry. I mean, they're so ready to go shoot at people. And so what basically happened is they kettled people. They came from each side and they started swarming in. And the leader of the Black Lives Matter protest at that location, because the majority of them had already left earlier, because in other parts there was a police car on fire. There were those sort of things going on, but where we were, there wasn't. And so he started leading them, saying, okay, when they move forward, which is what they do, they get in formation, and then the cops move forward, you move back. So everybody was listening to him, moving back, and we were just filming it the whole time. And then, you know, our car was in the middle of it, so Johnny goes in the car to move it, and he moves it further down. And then we're about ready to go and get in the car when the police come down that street, and they're like, no, you can't go. And then earlier in the video, you see a girl trying to get to her car, and the police literally arrest her, take her down, because all she was trying to do was get in her car and leave. And they broke her window, and they left the car there, and they arrested her. And so we were trying to get out. We knew, like, okay, something's going to happen here. And we were trying to get out before it got worse. And then what they did was, this is the part that really kills me. They told people to go to their right, okay, the right side, where towards this little alley that was there. And people went and they listened because everything else was blocked off. And as they were running through the alley, the cops came in and they were like pointing their guns at them. And they were like, wait, but you told us to go here. And then the cops were coming in, and in an alley, they corralled people in an alley like caged animals. And then they decided to arrest everybody. They let the CBS guy go, and we had shown them our press passes that we were wearing, because we were wearing some, and they were like, nope, sorry, and they didn't care, and they arrested Jonathan. I have it on video till the very end. He was the last one, and then they told me to put my camera away, and they did the whole zip ties on us, and they took us to the station. And the only reason they didn't book us, meaning like get our fingerprints and all that, is because they were full. Of the holding cell was full, because they've been arresting people like en masse. So that to me was the worst thing, was that they lied to people, because, you know, cops lie all the time, right. But it's more alarming to see how they completely lied to people, telling them, if you do this, you'll be fine, you can go. And they completely lied. And these people were crying. I mean, there was these little girls crying. And for me, it was like, wow, you don't care that I'm pressed. I'm literally filming. I didn't do anything. And they were so rude the whole time. And I was trying to keep us all together. They were like, I was like, we're together. And they were like, not tonight. Haha. Like, they were mocking everybody. I mean, the way they treated us was so awful. They put you in a little car. You can't breathe. It's coronavirus. They don't care. Everybody is like, you know, next to each other. And they had one guy in a car as they went to pick up other people to arrest for 3 hours with no water and barely anything. And the way they tie those things, like, my wrist is still hurting from how they tied it. And they were saying, oh, you're resisting arrest to Jonathan. And he wasn't resisting at all. And you can see he wasn't. They were trying to say, stop resisting, stop resisting. And it's one thing to read about police brutality. It's one thing to get a ticket or get an asshole cop who like gives you a ticket, or, you know, it's one thing to have these like little confrontations. It's another one to see how they completely treat people differently when they see them as an opponent. They see you as like a target, and they refer to all of us as bodies. They don't refer to you as a citizen, as a person. They say, we got 6 bodies here. We need to get some more. Where do we go? They literally, for them, you are nothing. You are a body. That's it. That's it.
And that's how they treat. I mean, and yeah, and if you're black, then it's even worse.
Yeah.
But that's the militarized police. That's, I mean, literally, I'm watching this footage over here. There is now National Guard. There's troops on here in America. There's American troops going after American people here in Los Angeles. And they just shot tear gas in Santa Monica. They have 2 screens open. I'm watching CBS. And there's Humvees. There's armored Hum vehicles on the streets in America. I thought this only happened in socialist countries. I'm so confused. I thought capitalism was so great that things didn't collapse with wonderful capitalism. Like, there's guys in an armed Humvee, man. The only time I've ever seen these is in Iraq and Afghanistan when I was there as a comedian.
Yeah. And Graham, just leave it to the mainstream media again to show the looting and all of these things, the looting. But where is that coming from? It's coming from the fact that in Los Angeles, we have one of the most adversarial relationships between citizens and the police. The police literally go after homeless people.
Yes.
Like they ransack their belongings, they put them in jail, they cite them. You can't sleep in your car. Meanwhile, these people are living on the sidewalk next to mansions, next to Louis Vuitton stores, next to Gucci. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not upset that a high-end designer store gets like looted. These people have been oppressed for so long. You're not listening to them, Mayor Garcetti. You didn't allocate the funds that were supposed to go to the homeless to build these bridge houses, to build these homes, affordable homes. They did not do that. They just raised the police the whole budget part allotted to the police by 7%. Meanwhile, they decreased everything else in the middle of the pandemic when people are unemployed. Why do you think people are reacting like this? Maybe let's focus on why and stop trying to paint the protesters as all criminals when the majority of them are protesting just so cops can understand what they're trying to say here. So I'm just so sick of the mainstream media really like turning this around. It's really unnerving.
Well, you can see that. I mean, I saw the whole thing unfold in real time. The cops show up armed to the teeth. The helicopters are overhead. The cops know the helicopters are overhead, so they know they're going to get favorable coverage. They know they're going to get favorable coverage. And the other thing too, like, oh, they're looting. I have yet to see any corporate media talk about the goddamn looting from Goldman Sachs and all of these Wall Street companies. They have looted all of our futures, all of our retirements. They have looted our children's futures. Where is the outrage from the corporate media about that fucking looting? That drives me goddamn crazy. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
And they just say, boy, these people are showing. And the other thing, like you talk about specifically to Los Angeles, we had our homeless population in the last 4 or 5 years went from like 23,000 or something like that to about 36,000. That was before the pandemic. And again, we passed Measure M. Where is that money? What's going on? You have in America, you have 60% of the population can't afford a $500 or $1,000 emergency, and then you just told them you can't work for 3 months, and here's $1,200. You don't get free health care. Maybe if you're lucky to navigate the labyrinth of unemployment, you might get something. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just think I got approved. I got a bunch of it is fucking June tomorrow, right? Now, I'm lucky I have this show, but I lost 30% of my work. I'm just giving my personal example, not as a like, well, I've suffered so badly, but just to show I lost 30% of my work because the road got shut down. I can't go on the road and make money as a comedian, right? So if I didn't have this platform, what would I be doing? And if I lost my job and you tell me I can't work and you don't give me health care, you won't give me student debt forgiveness, but you have, you can increase the budget of the military and the militarized police. It's just unbelievable. And they act so perplexed. Like, why is everyone, well, we're taking to the streets? And, oh no, they looted the Target. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh no, somebody lost. They were showing earlier, there was a shoe store, a shoe palace, a big in Santa Monica, and they just show people looting, and they keep running the same footage over and over. And when you turn the sound down, you really see how they're pushing this subliminal message. It's mostly young people, mostly black, running out. So it's like, hey, white America, the blacks are coming to steal your stuff. And there's no talk about, wait a minute. There's no talk about why do people need to steal shoes? Where is any of this stuff? And people don't have jobs. They don't have education. We have LA unified. I mean, LA public schools are not. A lot of them are not good at all, right? And then in the black and brown communities, they're treated this way by the police. And then you act shocked, like.
And not only that, I mean, just so you know, like right now in the pandemic, like Graham said, we went from having thousands of homeless people. We have even more now.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not allowed to sleep in your car at all. You will get a citation, and eventually you'll get your car towed, and you don't have money. Eventually you can't get it, and then you end up in the streets. It's a whole cycle. They criminalize poverty here, and there are people, my friends that are working for this nonprofit. It's just they're volunteering their time. It's called Urban Partners LA, and they have seen an increase in the amount of people lining up. They'll line up at 4 a.m. These people, they're giving them groceries, you know, and it's people like middle-class people now starting to get in line. Why? Because $1,200 doesn't last you that long, especially in California. And these people are lining up to get simple groceries. Do you think that during a pandemic, people aren't going to go and need clothes, groceries, things that they don't have? Yeah. I mean, you guys didn't deal. Government, hello, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Mayor Garcetti. You guys didn't do anything more for the people living in one of the most expensive cities in the country. And $1,200 is gone. The unemployment's going to run out. People are going to be completely unable to pay anything. They're not paying rents right now. Mm-hmm. Half of LA didn't pay their rent. I mean, this isn't exaggeration. Why do you think people are doing this? Because they're scared. They're desperate. And they can stop this anytime. If they come out with a list of, okay, we're going to do this, this, and that. And that's where, Graham, I want to see this movement go, is us to demand a list of things we want. Mm-hmm. Medicare for all. Give us a UBI. Give us this now. That's it. Otherwise, we're going to continue protesting because police brutality and criminalizing poverty is one element that is wrong with the entire system. It has to change. Otherwise, people shouldn't stop protesting, in my opinion.
No, because this is so many things. I mean, this is generations of black people and black men being mistreated by the police. I mean, hundreds of years, really. It's since this country started. And then on top of it is all of this just failed capitalism that the 1% is taken care of. I mean, like, it's imagine if that $4.25 trillion that they gave. And by the way, I can hear little fireworks and helicopters periodically. Yeah. Because I'm watching what's happening in Santa Monica. It's less than it's a half mile from my house, and some of the marching went down 5-6 blocks. I mean, I can just hear sirens and fire. This whole time we've been live. That's all I've been hearing behind me. And so I want to. All of these other things, we're seeing it. I mean, we're seeing decades of not having health care, decades of I mean, people are like, the number one cause of bankruptcy was medical bills, right? Yep. On top of a completely militarized police that does this, that overreacts this way. So I'm having a problem bringing up your thing from Facebook. But I want to show, but I'll show my video for a second, because I want to show, again, why it's escalating in Santa Monica. I'll show you exactly how the Santa Monica police, what they do, how they reacted. And well, the news keeps saying this, the curfew is at 4 in Santa Monica, but then they print a graphic saying it's 6 o'clock. So hold on, I gotta my computer is being overworked, so I gotta force quit that for a second. So I want to show this is, I was marching down Ocean Boulevard, and the police, I'm gonna put this over you, Fee, forgive me. Where'd it go? Oh, come on. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Okay. Hold on a sec. Okay, so here is this. So now this is, I just want to give people some context here. This is down Ocean Boulevard, Ocean in Colorado, and what we're about to see is the entrance to the Santa Monica Pier, which is a big tourist attraction. Now, granted, all this stuff has been shut down during the pandemic. They're slowly starting to open it up. So this is what happens. And there's a bunch of cops right here in riot gear, about a half a dozen of them. So people start kneeling and saying to the police, kneel with us, march with us. And there's video footage of cops in other cities doing this who got it. So here's what happens. I just want to show this. And there's the police. Right? There's the Santa Monica Pier. And it's peaceful, it's cheering, right? Somebody's gonna throw one water bottle. And then the people in the front are gonna go, don't do that, don't do that. Somebody threw a bottle of water and everyone's like, don't do that, don't do that. Please don't do that. Just, everyone's like, don't do that. And again, it's a plastic bottle of water. If you're a cop and you can't handle that, then I'm sorry, go be a goddamn library security guard. Okay? Like if you, it's too mean. So I want to show you, so that's what starts happening. And then, then I hear sirens start blaring. And this is what the cops do. All these different people, all age groups, all ethnicities, everybody. Here comes this cop. This is Santa Monica PD. Earlier today.
Get the fuck out the way! Get out the way! Move! Get out of the way!
Get the fuck out of the way.
You better get out the way!
And water bottles start coming.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
And most people clear. Oh no, plastic water bottles. All those cops had to do was kneel.
That's asking too much.
Yeah. All they had to do was kneel. Go, you know what, we'll kneel with you. People would have cheered and said thank you. And then they sent all these cops, and then all this just started. They got to send reinforcements, send reinforcements. Look at this. All these guys armed to the teeth. Look at this. They're hoping some shit goes down.
Yep.
That's the reaction. I just wanted to show that was their first reaction. People stand and kneel and say, kneel with us, walk with us. And again, there's footage in Flint, Michigan, I think, of the sheriff walking with people. There's footage of the Kansas City police, and I'm not commenting on their past whatever, I don't know, but there's cops, two cops, a photo I saw from the Kansas City police, each holding one end of a sign that said end police brutality. And the cops, one guy had a baseball hat, one guy had no hat. They didn't have riot gear on. They had their stuff, but they weren't like automatic weapons, riot gear, and they had that. And people saw that and like applauded and cheered and retweeted that photo. And this is like, I want to talk. I'm a resident of the city of Santa Monica, and I'm going to talk to this. This is not over, and I'm going to talk to the chief of police and go, why couldn't your men just kneel? You know, if they would have knelt, everybody would have like cheered and applauded and said thank you for hearing us and acknowledging us. And instead, you just like, these guys are, get the fuck out of the way. These two roided out jackasses that probably got PTSD. And they're hoping, man, they're chomping at the bit to light some shit up. And again, and now, I'm watching them shoot rubber bullets at people.
Yeah, this is what they do. I mean, they're hungry. A lot of them are hungry for this. Obviously, not every single guy is going to be a bad cop. Nobody is really saying that. But it is this group mentality that comes over them when they're in formation like this. It's like groupthink. When they see you as a target, you become less human to them.
Yes.
Right? And they can't see you as anything other than a target. And it's really problematic, down right to the terms they use. Bodies, like, no, you're a human being, you're a citizen, you're their brother, sister, like they're a human being. And a lot of us in West Hollywood, a lot of the people were kneeling and, like I said, sitting down and calling for the cops, please, like, don't shoot, like we're kneeling, we want you to join us, understand, blah, blah, blah. And it was mostly young people saying this.
Right.
And instead of doing that, they got so aggressive and corralled people and lied to them and started shooting at them. By the way, another journalist yesterday went to West Hollywood after I had been taken in, and she was trying to get some footage, and in her car, and then she got out for a second, was trying to film some of the protesting. They threw tear gas at her, and then as she was leaving, the police literally shot her window down, like in her car. So her car window is gone because the police decided to shoot rubber bullets at her. And here's the thing, like, she had her press badges too. They don't care. Caitlin Johnstone just wrote a great article where she's outlining how the New York Times literally denied that journalists are being arrested. That's not something that happens in America because of the First Amendment. Fucking bullshit, man. Like, it's happening left and right. They're arresting journalists like nothing. A woman got, like, hit in the face that was a journalist. They only let certain mainstream media get away with it, but even those people are also being targeted. Like, this is out of control. And if we want to talk about freedom of the press and freedom of speech, it's pretty much gone now. They're showing that they don't care, and they did that. They showed you that when they treated Assange the way they did. This is this is why Assange was so important, you guys, because he represented what the establishment could do, what the powers that be could do to a journalist that was simply trying to inform the public. This is why they try to keep us down, because we're not going to show the narrative that the mainstream media is showing. We're going to show you the whole thing, the whole picture. Like, we're not getting paid by the people in power to tell you a certain narrative, and that's why they don't want us there. And in fact, I think they're going to go after more independent journalists even more now, because this is what we're showing. We're showing the truth.
That's and it's like I had Ali Hagstrom on this show, and I'm going to post that video too. I've been so swamped this week because it's been so nuts to get these clips out, just letting my audience know, because as you guys know, I take my live stream and then I take segments and drop them as clips, and I've just I've fallen behind. But one of the things we were showing, she was saying, we all need to be citizen journalists. The fact that everyone has a camera with a phone, a phone with a camera, this is important, because you see, I'm watching in real time what the corporate police state narrative is through the corporate media, and it's just like, oh, protest turned violent. There's no graphic, there's no talk saying the cops are overreact. There's nowhere. They're not saying that at all. And they're just showing it to you, and they want you to stay home and be scared, and, oh, the angry protesters. But the fact of the matter is, why this is more people getting involved, especially white people they've never had this adversarial response with the cops before. If you grew up in a nice white suburb and maybe you had one bad experience, but you didn't see this, and you were like, well, that one cop was a dick. And I used to be one of the well, there's a few bad apples that are dicks, but for the most part, no. White America needs to see what the Black and brown and Native American communities have seen for centuries, which is this structurally systemized, the way they're trained, the way it's happening. This is their reaction. All these assholes needed to do was take a fucking knee and go, hey, we're sorry. All we need to do. And instead ramp it up, get the fuck out of the way. I mean, this is a seminal moment, for America. and for all of us, but white America really needs to get involved now on this one. And this guy came up to me and he goes, if you guys don't even, you wouldn't even be here if there wasn't a protest. And I said, hey man, I live here. I live in Santa Monica. He goes, no, you don't. He started walking around. I go, hey dude, I live here. He's some white older guy yelling at me. I was like, I live here. This is my city. I'm a resident of the city of Santa Monica, and my police department is acting like fucking jarhead assholes. And I'm gonna fucking speak up about this, and I'll be goddamned if some asshole is gonna tell me this. I don't have a right to. I have a right to do this in any city in America, quite honestly. I have a right to take a knee in any parking lot, anywhere I want to, because there's this crazy thing called the Constitution. But I'll be goddamned if someone's gonna tell me I don't have a right to be at a peaceful protest. So like, wake the fuck up, white America, because this is going to happen in it's happening in all the nice neighborhoods. We all like to think, oh boy, that's a downtown LA problem. No, 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 no. Kids, it's right here in this nice Santa Monica. It's West Hollywood. It's Beverly Hills. It's Huntington Beach. It's like, and I also want to point this out. There's undercover cops who want to start shit. They want to start shit. And also there was a post on Reddit, I don't know how accurate this is, that Antifa is starting to whatever. I don't know. I have no doubt that there is private intelligence and cops trying to stir the shit up. There's no two ways about it, because they know they just stirred up a little the anger and emotion that's surrounding this. Like, there was a couple young black guys when we were at the pier, and one of them threw a water bottle, and some other a white guy goes, hey man, don't do that. And the guy was pissed off because I'm tired of fucking taking a knee. And I'm not gonna tell a black man, don't be mad at the cops. I mean, and that's the thing. And so the cops and the private intelligence, whoever's doing this, the white nationalist groups, there's a white nationalist group that told its members to loot in Minneapolis to fuel the narrative. You know, when the media says they and those protesters, it's like, we know what that means. That's blacks. Uh-oh. And
dogs. Yeah. That word.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's code. It's you know how they are. If they just wouldn't riot, there wouldn't be problem. And it's like, I know, I'll never know what it's like to be a black man in America because I'm a white dude. And so these young guys and if I was 18, 19-year-old black man and I was seeing this shit happen, I'd be like, I would be furious too. I mean, I'm mad. And it's the cops don't hassle me on a daily basis. No. And it's like, and what is the local media, what are they showing? They're just showing a looted store. They're not talking about why are these cops overreacting. They're just showing a looted store. That's all they're doing. And again, so what if the store got looted? So what? Yeah. Like, look what the 1% has been looting of America's for decades.
If it's not immediately apparent, people just don't get it. And it's time for people to get it. Like, it's time for people to understand why this is happening, you know? It's so easy to call somebody a thug and a looter and uneducated. Mm-hmm. But number one, we don't know that the majority of the people doing this aren't even the protesters affiliated with Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. And I know they're not, because they are told a certain thing, a certain way to do this, because they know that they could go to jail. And a lot of these people have, resources, like they're formulating resources if you've been arrested, how to work with a lawyer and all of these things. This is also backed by the fact that there's a segment of the Black Lives Matter in LA that is white people for Black lives. And they have been kind of putting themselves in between the police and the black person. I mean, you have, there has been more solidarity that I've seen in this and I have seen in a long time. Yeah. And people aren't even focused on that. They're like, I'm looking at people of all ethnicities and races coming together and fighting for the same cause, like ending police brutality, making sure that our officials, those in law enforcement and those in government, see what's going on, how people are suffering, and they're all coming together for this. Mm-hmm. But instead of focusing on that, the focus is, oh, look over here. Somebody looted a Target. Somebody is looting a Trader Joe's. I mean, it's a pandemic. What do you guys expect? And LA is, once again, it's symbolic of the vast wealth disparity in America.
Oh, God.
It does not get any worse than you know, the Golden Globes and all these red carpets and all these expensive $30 million mansions and $200,000 cars, and then you see people living on the street, more and more tents up,
Tent
more
cities.
and more,
Like,
yeah,
full
everywhere.
tent cities. You're right. At Los Angeles is it is the biggest disparity. I mean, maybe New York City too, but I mean,
yeah.
New York. You see it. You see like the Staples Center, this glitzy thing, and there's all these nice restaurants and all these high-rise $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 one-bedroom apartments, and then fucking tent cities. And the tent cities in the last 3 months have doubled from what I've seen just driving around Los Angeles. Like people have had enough, man. It's like, I'm sorry that the Gucci store got looted. Boy, I'm so sorry. Like, you don't want the Gucci store looted? You don't want people busting into Shoe Palace? I don't know. Give them a job. Instead of in Santa Monica, there are at least 2 or 3 high-rise luxury apartment complexes that have gone up just in the last 6 months or so. And there's nobody in them. And yet there's 10 cities. That's all over Los Angeles. All these high-end things, they got zero interest loans, these development companies, the banks gave it. And why aren't they? There should be no one living in the streets in anywhere in America, but especially Los Angeles. We have excess housing.
We have excess housing. And that's another thing I want to point out, Graham, is Americans we're so not used to protesting for economic issues. And we're so not used to like seeing actual change be led. It hasn't happened for a long time, since the civil rights movement, really, like in that level, by going into the streets. We have been saying this whole primary how we need to really get outside of the electorate, because change doesn't always come from one politician, and it takes years to change the law through the judicial process. So we're going to have to go outside the electorate into the streets. This is a way to get change. And in America, we're so used to not doing that to us, it's like, oh my God, look at the looting. And the mainstream media can just frame that. Why? So you don't go out there. So you don't protest and demand and unite yourself and build upon these causes with other people, not just police brutality. You support them, but then you're like, hey, I can't pay my rent, support me too. And then you build this mass movement like the Yellow Vest movement that is in France. And like, we can't do that, because the mainstream media shapes the narrative as if you are a criminal if you dare go out there. And so does the police, the government. They all play a whole part in this. They're calling now the military to take hold of this. The military is going to be ready to kill people. If you don't think you live in a fascist state, you are completely wrong.
I'm so perplexed. I thought this kind of stuff only happened in Venezuela. I mean, and evil repressive regimes like Iran. Fiorella. That's what I've been told. And this is America's going to see firsthand, like you say, they're going to dispatch the military. One of the reasons they're having undercover cops and people start the riots and light that match is because they want to put martial law down. They want to clamp down. And we've been sending our military for the last 18 years for basically urban warfare is what we've been training them to do in Iraq and Afghanistan and all these other places. So now our military is just going to, and again, we're going to be enemy combatants. That's how they're going to view Americans, as enemy combatants, and friendly fire and rules of engagement and all these military terms. Guess what? They're going to happen. They're starting to happen here. People are really waking up to this fact, and they absolutely better, because this is like, I'm watching this real time. This is my city. This is happening in the city that I live in right now. Like less than a mile from my house. I was just down there. It's like, people that better wake the fuck up, man. I mean, and they just showed it again while you were talking. Earlier today, what do they show from earlier today? Do they show the cop car footage that I just showed saying, get the fuck out of the way? Nope. They show the looting the store footage, and it's very critical. It's a little 5 to 10 second clip of mainly black people running out of a store. So stay home, white America. The protests are evil, crazy black people. That's the subliminal, that's the messaging. That's the messaging. And it tells white people at home who aren't paying attention to go, well, I mean, what happened to George Floyd was bad, but you shouldn't go steal shoes. Wake the fuck up, white America. Wake your ass up.
It's like the material things are cause such an outrage, and the loss of life and the lack of funds for people. The level we have been pushed through, especially the millennial generation and the subsequent generation. I mean, this ignited my sister, who's 17, who's Gen Z, to go out and protest, and she has never been this like alarmed about something, and this is like what's waking people up. A lot of the people that weren't really like paying attention, and they're seeing now, oh my God, you know, like for me, I have experienced 2 recessions and 2 large transfers of wealth into the hands of the 1%. And to hear the mainstream media talk about looting and all of this when they get paid thousands of dollars per appearance just to lie to you, to me is just it is a slap in the face. It is a literally eat the rich moment right now.
It is. And
this is it. This is a moment we've been waiting for. This whole pandemic, all of this that's been happening has come to a tipping point, and it's get in and make sure we get what we need, or we're just going to let this slide. And we can't do that.
No,
there's too much at risk.
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. I mean, this is like, you know, and again, you're a millennial, so we've been at war in Afghanistan for over half of your life. And we've spent trillions of dollars. Gee, I wonder if that, whatever the number is, $5 to $10 trillion that we've spent on the global war on terror. Gee, I wonder if that had been spent the last 18 years on infrastructure, on jobs, on green energy, on getting us off of the Middle Eastern oil, on schools, on all this stuff. Would these protests be happening right now? No. They wouldn't. If we spent, I mean, the 8 years Obama was in the White House of like really police reform, prison reform, getting rid of the private prison system. What if we'd been spending trillions of dollars doing that? What if we spent trillions of dollars giving it to the American people? What if we had free college? What if we forgave student debt forgiveness? What if we, you know, we did all of these things? And then, okay, the pandemic comes and they said, okay, yeah, everyone's already got free health care. We're going to pay your rent for 3 months, and here's $2,000 a month UBI. There'd be no protests. People would be like, okay, my government's got me. They're taking care of me. It's great. But no, they just keep getting it and getting too, like you said, just in your lifetime, 2 massive, the one we just had, the greatest transference of wealth. The first one was under Obama, and then now this one that just happened. And we're also seeing too, like, everyone, like, really? Joe Biden. You want to back Joe Biden, the guy that wrote the 1994 crime bill? Amy Klobuchar, we need a woman in the White House. Okay, she's the one who could have prosecuted the guy, what's his name, Derek Chauvin or whatever, the guy that killed George Floyd. She could have, he has a record of abuse and shooting people. She could have done it, did nothing. So it's showing you, and Alyssa Milano of all people said, boy, I can't believe she's actually like, the Democratic Party should have got behind Bernie Sanders more. She's realizing this, probably because there's protesters outside of her nice mansion in Beverly Hills is probably what happened. Going back to the LA privilege, she's had red carpet and all this privilege and white lady privilege and believe all women except Tara Reid and anyone that accuses Joe Biden or Bill Clinton. And it's like, they're all waking up. The Hollywood neoliberal better wake the fuck up. They are, because they're like, the Biden crime bill that was signed into law by Bill Clinton, that's part of why we have what's going on. That's why George Floyd was murdered, is because those racist things that Joe Biden said in '94, and there was one guy on the floor of the Senate who said he's wrong. That was Bernie Sanders. And, oh, gee, maybe if we had Bernie's Medicare for All and revamping private prisons and student debt forgiveness and a Green New Deal, and, oh, gee, maybe we wouldn't have this. America, white America, privileged blue check neoliberal Alyssa Milano America better pull their head out of their like pampered asses and realize that what's happening the last 5 days, this is not going away. This is not going away unless you better address it. You better get involved, And like, I'm glad there's like all these different ethnicities, and especially I'm seeing a lot of white women. I'm like, good, because white women are realizing they have more privilege when it comes to the police than anybody. I understand my white privilege. I understand it as best as I can. But when I hear like the blue check neoliberal white women, some of them complain like no one suffered more than a college educated white woman. Oh my God, God forbid, you know, oh, Hillary, they refuse to acknowledge how awful the Clintons are. And it's like, no, you better wake up, kids. And they're seeing, because a cop wouldn't, I mean, there's video after video after video of white women in the faces of cops. And they're like, ma'am, come on, ma'am. And it's like, Jesus Christ, if you were a black man, you would be on the ground. You'd have a knee on your neck. Like, how many photos or videos are there of cops putting their knees on the necks of billionaires?
Wouldn't it be lovely?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it would be lovely. I think this will spark a conversation on why, you know, at least coming from our end, from independent media, from independent journalists, hopefully more voices in mainstream media, why this is happening. Because you can't look at a situation only as it's happening retroactively. You have to look at it like, what is the underlying cause of all of this? Is this just George Floyd? Obviously, it's not just George Floyd. It is pent up anger for the years of abuse of that Black people have experienced. And then you add that onto economic uncertainty, to the uncertainty in general, to the fact that, you know, we are going to be experiencing more and more climate catastrophe. Nobody's even mentioned that yet.
Yeah.
And the fact, you know, there's all these things happening in the world. People are psychologically right now in a state of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Even before these riots or these protests, people were in a state of anxiety because of the pandemic, because they're not getting the things they need. You add this on, and it's kind of a catharsis. And, you know, we really do need to address the bigger issues, is the economics of it. What is being done for these people so they don't end up being criminalized? Because right now, any one of these people of color could get arrested and then have an arrest record.
Yes.
Oh, and then you can't get, you know, it's going to be noted when you get hired.
Yeah.
And we know that Black men and women get hired less than white people when they go up against them, even just their name. And it also happens to Latin Americans too.
Yep.
Oh, this person is Ramos. Okay, this person is Smith. Smith gets hired over Ramos. When it comes to loans for homes, when it comes to all these things, it's systemic. It is against poverty. In America, we treat poor people like we treat criminals. Look at Tara Reid. Look at how they went through her life. Oh, she bounced a check. Oh, let's vilify her for bouncing a check. Oh, she had money problems. Her landlord said she didn't pay her rent. Are you kidding me? That's like the majority of my friends right now.
Yeah.
They can't pay rent. How are we going to pay rent? Like, this just shows you that in America, if you get raped in the future, maybe you better have not been poor, because if you don't have the pedigree of Christine Blasey Ford, who went to an Ivy League school and is a doctor, by all means, you might not be believed at all by the Democratic establishment. And that's a whole other thing here. Like, it really matters if you're wealthy or you're not. I mean, wealthy people don't get sprayed in the face. It just doesn't happen.
No, they don't get sprayed in the face. They get the cops showing up and protecting their side street. That's what I saw. That's what happened on Montana Boulevard. There's a bunch in Santa Monica, basically north of Montana is where all the multi-million-dollar houses are. Right? South of there, there's some nice houses or whatever, but like the neighborhood I live in, there's some really nice places, but I'm in a rent-controlled building. There's a lot of, the rents are really expensive here, but there's a lot of people like myself who've lived here a long time. There's people in my building who've lived in this building for 25, 30 years. And yeah, they like living near the beach. It's rent-controlled, and there's some, but it's a fairly affluent city. And north of Montana, it's all mansions. 4, 5, 6, $10 million homes. No two ways about it. So the cops set up there with the riot gear like, you can't come down this street. And it's like, it's people think this is bad. If they don't really wake up and get involved and say, man, if you don't like this, if you're just like a white person, like, geez, I didn't realize, and you don't like this happening right now in your town, you need to get involved. Because this is going to keep, what happens if, so I just want people to kind of wake up to this fact here of like, okay, So what happens if we're just at the tip of the financial collapse iceberg from this pandemic, right? We're just at the tip. So Monday, tomorrow is June 1st. That'll be the third month many people have not paid their rent. And I bet you each month, April, May, June, the number of people not paying their rent just keeps going up and up, right? So in the next couple months, even if we open the economy all back up, how are you going to open the economy back up if we're all in martial law? So, and even if you open it back up, I know comedy clubs and stuff like that, restaurants, bars, where we're going to open up at 25, 30% capacity, they're not going to be able to keep the lights on. Like more companies are going to go out of business, more bankruptcies, personal, and I mean, we're talking about big companies. Hertz, Ford are filing bankruptcy. The auto industry is going to go, it's the belly up, the hotel industry. I mean, I calculated just one comic going on the road, 60 to 70 jobs are affected by me going on the road. Starting from the Lyft driver to my house, the people that make my t-shirts, to the airport, the security, the hotel, the shuttle bus drivers, everybody, the distributors at the comedy club that distribute the alcohol. I mean, all of it. And that's every business traveler hits somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 70 jobs. Those are all gone. So what do you think this is bad? Apathy, America? People, oh, I hope this isn't my problem. Boy, that's an LA problem. You're in a small town. You live down in Orange County or San Diego, and you're like, well, that's an LA problem. You know, you live out in the sticks. Boy, that's a California. That's a New York problem. Because what happens when there's bankruptcies, then the foreclosures start, right? Then what happens when the federal government just can't pump up Wall Street anymore? What happens then when the banks go, you know what? We don't have your money anymore. Then what? This today is going to seem like a fucking parade at Disneyland. Yeah. Like, people need to wake up. We're on the brink of not just, it's all of it.
We have to make them uncomfortable. We have to make the elites uncomfortable. This is the moment. Like, this is it. And like, if you're afraid, if you're uncomfortable, it is because you're not feeling the the creeping in of all of these issues that a lot of the working and now middle class that is in jeopardy of losing their jobs because of the bankruptcies that are going to happen. If you're not feeling that, good for you, but the rest of the majority of Americans are feeling that, and there is only one entity to blame, and that's the oligarchy that has made it so that the elites get richer and richer and everybody else gets poorer and poorer, and even exploiting a pandemic to transfer money to them. That is the looting we are angry about. That is nothing. Nobody has answered us for that yet. We're not getting UBI. We haven't got healthcare. We haven't got crap. And on top of that, you guys are increasing policing. You're bringing in the military. This is fascism. This is it. There's no, stop saying that, that word. No, this is fascism. This is what this country is doing to people. And we come from revolutionaries. This country was founded because people rebelled against the status quo. So if you don't like the status quo, it is your American fundamental right to be a true patriot and really rebel against the corrupt government that is literally stealing from you. No taxation without representation. That is happening right now.
Yeah, these militias that showed up with armed weapons that because they were mad they couldn't get a haircut, someone ought to try to sit them down and go, actually, the real enemy is the 1%. The real enemy is stealing your money. That's what we need to build coalitions here, maybe even some uncomfortable ones. It's what Fred Hampton did in the late 60s in Chicago. I just need to tell this story.
That's why they killed him.
Yeah, and they killed him. But there needs to be 1,000 of them. I want my audience, maybe some of you have heard this, but some of you have not. So Fred Hampton was the head of the Black Panther Party in the city of Chicago, and where I'm from, and he went to there was a neighborhood in Chicago called Hillbilly Harlem. It was a bunch of, after the Civil War, Southerners, black and white, came in the North because the Industrial Revolution started. So all these people through the late 1800s and early 20s and 30s came up north to the industrial jobs, right? Because the South was primarily an agricultural economy. And there was a neighborhood in Chicago called Hillbilly Harlem. There's a lot of white guys, a lot of them openly racist, in the Klan, Confederate flags, all this shit. Fred Hampton, and this speech is online. Look it up. I'll do another video on it. Went to them and gave this speech and started the first ever Rainbow Coalition, where he said, Capitalism creates racism. Capitalism keeps us divided. Capitalism wants us fighting with each other, white, black. And he said it 10 times more articulate than I just did. And he recorded this thing. And then they killed him. The FBI and Chicago police raided his house. They shot him dozens of times. And they said, oh, he resisted, the old resisted arrest thing, and that's what we need to build. I know it's uncomfortable for some people, and I'm not excusing or minimizing people who are openly racist. We have an openly racist president who said, thugs and that you loot, we shoot, which is giving a green light to cops and everybody. Well, the president says we can shoot black people. And I'm going to address that in a second because I talked about that and I had to pull this video down. I want to address that in a second. But what we did is that there are some of these working class whites who are maybe openly racist, or they wave the Confederate flag. Some of them you could talk to and go, no, the 1% is screwing us over. The billionaires, an immigrant didn't take your job, a billionaire did. And some of those people, you might be able to build a coalition, because all I saw today was every single walk of life, every age, everything walking together. That's what I saw today. I saw a bunch of people, I saw hundreds of people take a knee in silence in the middle of a street. And that's what I saw. And it brought tears to my eyes.
That's where they're afraid of, Graham.
Yes, I know.
That's exactly what they're afraid of. This is why the mainstream media has to form the narrative of, oh, look at these thugs against the people. Look what they're doing. Blah, oh, look, we have to have the left versus right. We have to have this, because they can't allow people to realize that their enemy is them. It's a propaganda arm of the oligarchy and the military-industrial complex, the intelligence community that control also and arm the police. And all of these people are against us. And this battle was never about left versus right. It was always top versus bottom. And that's what we have to realize. And that's what Fred Hampton realized. And that's what Martin Luther King started realizing too. He started talking about capitalism being, running its course. It's done. He embraced socialism, but you never get taught those things in school. I was never taught of MLK's socialist policies. Not once.
Nope.
Not once.
You heard the I Have a Dream speech. Beautiful speech. Great sentiment. None of these socialist speeches have I ever heard until recently, until I became an indie journalist and had to dig through YouTube to find them. Never did I ever hear. I heard. Look, I'm Irish, right? I was raised Irish Catholic. You couldn't say, my grandmother wouldn't let you say one bad word about the Catholic Church or the Kennedys, right? And all these speeches are popping off from JFK talking about there's a hidden society that's evil. There's a JFK talking about we need free health care. Europe has had it for decades. He gave that speech in 1962. Why don't I hear those speeches from JFK? Why don't I hear the socialist speeches from MLK? Why don't I hear the Malcolm X conversations talking about how the media, how corrupt the media is, and how that one great quote I'm gonna butcher it. The media will have you thinking that rich people are the victims and poor people are the criminals or whatever. Why don't we learn any of that in history? We didn't learn anything. All we learned is how great America is. I had to physically fly to Russia last year to learn that they lost 20-some million people in the war, in World War II. I thought we were it's like unreal. And I'm watching live footage. They're throwing rocks at the police station and courthouse right here in Santa Monica.
Am I angry about it? No.
Sorry.
Sorry. I think it shows, it's symbolic, absolutely. I would say go to the banks, to Nancy Pelosi's house. These are the things that protesters have been arming for. A lot of my friends are activists in the community, and they have been protesting the mayors, the people on the board of supervisors for the election. They have been protesting at their house. They have been making these people uncomfortable. This isn't new. LA has the huge activist community, but now you brought it into something bigger, and so they're going to show up, and they're going to be there, and they're going to support each other. This is not anything new, but I think the targets need to be banks, people like Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, Chuck Schumer's, Adam Schiff. Yeah. Where is Adam Schiff? Where is Brad Sherman, Mr. Patriot Act, Mr. voting for Trump's military budgets? These people are not your friends. I don't understand why we're outraged. This is what it takes to have a revolution. We tried. He tried to kneel. Colin Kaepernick tried to kneel. People had a problem with that. We tried to put Bernie Sanders as the primary Democratic candidate. They cheated him twice. They denied it. Nobody's talking about that either. You know, we've tried to work within the system, but the system is rigged. It's not going to change. It's time to dismantle it. It's time to dismantle the system of oppression and really, really go after the arm, which is the oligarchy and their subsidiaries. That's what we need to really focus on right now.
Yeah, we need to go, like Ted Lieu. He's my congressman. This is his district. Where is Ted Lieu? Hey, Ted, where are you? Where are you? They're throwing rocks at the court. Where are you? Where are you? Where's the mayor of Santa Monica? Where's the mayor of Where's the police chief of Santa Monica? Where are they?
This is the time to be a leader, Ted. Go be a leader.
Go be a leader, Ted. You always talk about you're a veteran. That's your big battle cry when you want to get votes. You're a vet. Well, then be one. Show me your leadership. I don't see it. I don't see it. Now they're coming down Main Street and the helicopters are over them. I mean, it's like, this is.
And Graham, think of the resources they're wasting on all these, the majority of protesters. Like, it wouldn't have gotten to the looting if they would have just walked with protesters and people would have just seen everybody walk hand in hand like they did in Flint, like they've done in parts of New Jersey. I've seen it too. Like, all these resources, even when the few days ago, the protesters were just peacefully protesting. Oh my God, they sent hundreds of cops with their riot gear, with all these cars, all these helicopters. It's thousands of dollars an hour to fly those helicopters, by the way. Those are your tax dollars, America. Your tax dollars are going to pay these police officers to be big, hard, like fascists against people. That's what your tax dollars are going to. They're not going to healthcare. They're not going to debt forgiveness to a generation that is in debt, that is unable to buy homes. I mean, people in China, they can buy homes. The millennials, all of them have homes in China. But 70%. China is communist. They're communists. Don't listen to them.
Yo, they're an evil, repressive regime over there, but 70% of millennials.
So what are we? If they are evil and oppressive, okay. I can admit that there's authoritarianism there. But what about here? Why can't we admit who we are first before we go trying to tell people how to be abroad?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Is China bombing 7 countries? Oh, no, we are. We are. Is it the Chinese military on the streets of Los Angeles right now? No. Is it
Russia?
Is it Russia? Right? Is it WikiLeaks? Who's on the oh no, it's the United States military. It's the California National Guard is on the streets right now. That's what's happening. Like, I'm watching this, man. They just seized an intersection in Long Beach. This is what you get, man. This is it's and you're right. They should be protesting outside of Nancy Pelosi's house. They should be protesting her 2 ice cream fridges. They should be protesting Garcetti's house, Newsom's house, Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris. They should be protesting. These people and these politicians are not your friends. They're not.
Let's make Kamala Harris VP, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
Boo. Kamala Harris who put 120,000 black men behind bars? She's part of the problem. She like telling everybody, I was a cop, I was a top cop, I'm a cop, I'm a cop, I'm a cop. I do not want her as vice president. I don't want Joe Biden as vice president. I don't know. Bernie dropped out, which was such a weak move. He should be leading everybody right now.
Yeah.
Such a weak move.
Yeah, I agree. It was such a weak move. It was way too early. And I think that what this shows us, Graham, is we can't rely on politicians. This is up to the people now. This is what happened. Everybody let us down, including Bernie. Now people are out on the streets because they tried. They tried to do everything peacefully. And like Kennedy said, if you make a peaceful revolution impossible, you make a violent revolution inevitable. And people don't want violence. The majority of these people don't even want that.
No.
But kneeling down gets you shot still.
Yes.
It gets you shot. I've seen it happen. The kids kneeling and they're shooting at them.
Yes.
So what does that tell you? Then what is my next strategy? What is my next move then? What am I supposed to do? If I'm a black man and my whole life I've seen my brothers and sisters get shot and get killed and get criminalized by the institutions of capitalism. I was out there asking black men, hey, like, how do you feel about Joe Biden? They don't like Joe Biden.
No.
I haven't heard a single one of them say, we like Joe Biden. In fact, they started talking to me about how they hate Hillary, how they hate neoliberals. And I was like, you know what? This is awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you for understanding this. This goes beyond identity politics.
No, it's
yeah.
I saw some anti-Trump signs, but I didn't see one single Biden 2020. Not one. No, I didn't see a single I'm with her hat. I didn't see any of that crap. I didn't see any of that. People are like, nope, done, forget it. I mean, if Alyssa Milano can wake up to how we needed Bernie's policies, that neoliberal privileged white lady sellout that's made it tougher for rape survivors and her if she's waking up, then there is some hope here, man. Like there is some hope. And I'm telling you, we need to hold all this shit accountable. Like if you're out there protesting peacefully and there's a media person out there who wants to ask you questions, tell them, ask the media questions. Go, how come you're not talking about the police brutality? How come you guys always defend the cops? How come you're not talking about the undercover cops that are stirring violence? How come you're doing that? How come you're not talking about all the billionaires? Like take these protests, like I said, to the CEOs of the banks, to the billionaires. Go outside of one of Jeff Bezos' house. He has a house here in Los Angeles. He has a house in Los Angeles. Go peacefully protest outside of his house. And tell him you need to give up. You're not going to be the first trillionaire. No, you're not. You need to give up 150 of your $1 billion to end homelessness. You could end homelessness. You could give all of your Amazon employees union wages, healthcare, benefits, all of that. That's what you need to do. We need to start demanding for all of these things that Dr. King was asking for. But I'm literally starting to hear it outside my door. Like, it's coming to my street. So I'm gonna say thank you, and I'm gonna read some super chats, everybody, and then I'm gonna wrap this up because it's they're literally coming down Main Street.
Jeez.
So
keep us posted, Graham. Yeah.
I will. So Ron and I are supposed to do this comedy show tonight. We're gonna donate all the money to the Minnesota Relief Fund. I don't know if that's gonna happen. If this is going on right now in blocks from my house. So
jeez, I can hear it.
Yeah, there's a helicopter just flew overhead. I keep hearing loud bangs and stuff. Fee, thank you so much. Where can people see? Because I know you've been posting and you've probably got more videos to show from the last couple of days. Where can people follow you and see what you're doing?
So the Convo Couch on YouTube, also my Fiorella Isabel on Facebook, Fiorella_IM on Twitter, and just keep posted on those three mainly. We're also on Instagram, the Convo Couch. We've been posting videos there too, but I'm gonna be uploading a lot of things too and doing a couple live streams to catch up because we've been out there, so we have a lot of footage that we still need to put up too. And we'll keep you guys posted on everything. Thank you so much, Graham, for having me.
Thank you, guys. Love you, Fee. Say hi to Johnny and Pasta for me. We really appreciate the work you're doing. You guys are awesome. So if you guys don't follow Convo Couch, please do. They're out there. This is how we got to do it. We all got to be citizen activists, citizen journalists, and report because the mainstream media is open, like lying in real time. I'm watching it. I'm watching them lie. So we need to change the narrative and we need to wake people up. And especially if you're watching the show and you're white, talk to your friends and family and get them to wake up to this fact. This is what we need to do is build coalitions and build unity. Fee, thank you so much.
Thank you, Graham.
Stay safe. We'll talk soon, sweetie. All right?
All right. Bye.
Bye. Shit. All right, folks. I'm going to try to get through these super chats. I'm literally hearing shit blow up outside my door. So it's just making me a little edgy. Levon Hewley, right on. Shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for watching the show. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Please support what I'm doing. This is going to be nuts. I don't know what the next couple of weeks are going to be like here, but yeah, there's a store on fire in Santa Monica. The curfew's now in effect. Anna Maxa, hit the like button. Thank you so much, Anna Maxa. Martin Caneva, shave your knuckles for justice. Thank you, Martin. Carrie, Mark, shave your knuckles for justice. Carrie, thank you for going to the protest. You're one of my heroes. Along with Fee, Johnny, and Craig. this is like, thank you for saying that. I'm just literally, I'm watching my city like go up in smoke. And I'm seeing, like today was like really, it's beautiful that all these people are coming together, and also like scary and heartbreaking. It's all this emotion together. And I hope some good comes off of this. But this is like, so I thank you for the support, man. I'm just I'm doing the best I can. I'm just a guy alone in his apartment. Yeah, I got friends in Santa Monica asking me if I'm okay and all this shit. So I'm going to try to read through. I'm sorry. Normally I spend more time answering your questions, but this is just too much. So I got to go outside and see what's going on. I'm going to be safe and everything. I'm going to wear this. But Animaxa, thank you. Matt S. I'm getting nostalgic about the days when we were unified about the pandemic lockdown. How sick is that? Animaxa, hit the like button. Thank you. Steve Jacob, if Spider-Man, Superman, etc. were real, who would they be fighting? If they were real and not, written to be show American exceptionalism, they'd be going after the billionaires. One of the first Superman cartoons, to my knowledge, he was defending a labor strike. Anthony Chisholm, PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean? Patrick Lawson for speaking truth and saying thank you so much. Kate, politicians deploy National Guard for COVID testing. Anita Harris, Graham, you should sue the police department. Fiorella too. Yeah, this isn't just like I'm gonna do some videos. Like this is just the beginning. Animaxa, thank you so much, Animaxa. Stefan Denning, stay safe. Wish I could give more. Hey, anything you guys are giving me money in the middle of a pandemic and a fucking economic collapse. So part of my tears is the support from you. It's fucking nuts, man. It's nuts. That you're supporting what I'm doing. I'm trying. I'm just a fucking guy. I just wanted to be a comedian, right? Just wanted to tell jokes, host some game shows, maybe make a movie or two that made a point. It's just so bad. I had to get involved over 3 years ago. I've tried. I went to the war zones and raised money for veterans. I've done all this stuff. I was a Red Cross volunteer. Tried to do all the yay, positive things, and this is just brutal, man. So the fact that you guys are supporting me, don't ever apologize to me. I'm not mad. I'm just saying you never have to apologize for the amount of money you give me. None of you do. And people who can't give me any money, you don't ever have to apologize for me. The fact that you're just watching and liking that's amazing. David Turner, what's your take on the anonymous Death Eaters leaked Epstein info? Trump and Epstein were in child sex lawsuit together. PDFs released. I haven't seen that yet, David. Obviously, this has been taking my time, but I'm not going to let go of the Epstein thing. I have not seen the Netflix doc yet, but I will. That's the other thing, all this shit. The fucking media, they're looting, they're taking shoes. They're taking shoes? Two presidents have distinct ties to a child sex trafficking ring. Why don't you talk about that, corporate media? I don't give a fuck that somebody stole shoes. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. How about raping and selling children? Yeah, can we weigh that? What's it look like? Oh, somebody stole some shoes. Oh no. Is that, where do you weigh that, corporate media? Maria Farmer said hundreds of children have fucking disappeared. They've probably murdered children. Ghislaine Maxwell hasn't been arrested. Ghislaine Maxwell hasn't been arrested, but boy, we better get those people that took those shoes. The fucking corporate media is so full of shit. How come there's not a ticker? So, 10 months, 16 days since, and still Ghislaine Maxwell hasn't been arrested. Then I would know the media was telling me the truth. Ghislaine Maxwell was a pedophile sex trafficker. All the white women out there protesting, I hope they're waking the fuck up to this shit. That their fucking feminist hero, Hillary Clinton, is a fucking pedophile. And so is her fucking husband. And they invite pedophiles to their daughter's wedding. So some people want to walk out with some shoes that they can't afford because the shoes are made in China by children and all the profits go to the corporate people because the people working at the shoe store are probably getting minimum wage. Are the people at the shoe store getting $30 an hour in union benefits? No. I'll get more on the Epstein shit. Right now I can't, but thank you for bringing that up. Watson, Mouthrope, am I the only one that feels like Trump is the gateway driver for America's bipartisan crimes against humanity since H.W. Bush? Yeah, probably. Keith M. Trump's comments are gross, but wasn't it our buddy Obama who authorized the transfer of military equipment to local police? Yes, it was. And I want to clarify this. I was asked the question Tuesday night, Graham, what do you think about Trump, being penalized or flagged or pulled off of Twitter? At that time on Tuesday, I said, well, I believe in freedom of speech. He hadn't yet said the shoot the looters and called the people thugs. That's actually in violation of the First Amendment. I'm a big First Amendment guy, but what Trump did is advocating violence, and he's the president of the United States, and that's against the law. So in that case, he should be fucking pulled off Twitter, and he should be arrested. He's saying it's okay to shoot looters. Fuck you, Trump. Fuck you and your MAGA hat supporters. Fuck you. I pulled that video down because someone pointed out to me, Graham, that comes across like you're saying it's okay. And it really makes it hurtful. And there's a friend, a guy who watches the show is like, Graham, I'm a black man. And it makes me feel, and I was like, hey dude, my bad. That was from Tuesday night. Trump didn't say those things till like Wednesday or Thursday. And I pulled it. And now fuck Trump saying that shit, inciting. Trump is helping incite these riots. He should be held accountable for that. Saying it's okay to shoot rioters. No. It's okay to shoot a billionaire. It's okay to shoot a pedophile. It's okay to shoot someone that was on Epstein's plane. Watson Malthrope, would cops be in danger if they drove into a crowd? Yeah, exactly. Oh, they're attacking the cop car. No, the cops drove into a crowd. If we wouldn't have gotten out of the way of that cop in Santa Monica that I showed you, that cop would have run us over. That cop would have run us over. Kate, my gang violence de-escalation cop neighbors said the consensus among cops is Floyd killers should off themselves because their lives are basically over. Yeah, man. So LA County curfew starting at 6 o'clock. Anna Maxa, what is the point of a curfew when people are already breaking stay-at-home lockdown? Absolutely. Marino Valago, I would like you to talk about Venezuela more often. I will try. I've done a couple videos on Venezuela, and I will continue to talk about that. I've talked about it on live streams, and I will try to address that, especially now when they're like, oh, Venezuela, Maduro can't control his population. We can't. Trump can't. He can't control the population. Eric Garcetti can't. Gavin Newsom. This is happening. This is just my town, but this is happening all over America. It's been happening the last 4 or 5 nights. Trump can't control his own city. He should go. Can I just stand up and be the new president like they did with Guaido? I will try to do that. Absolutely. Kinky Graham, I think it's pretty obvious that Putin is directing this whole drama. She said tongue-in-cheek, yeah, I know. Oh, this has got to be Russia. No, this is the late stage capitalism. This is decades and centuries of institutionalized racism and economic inequality and all of it. Greg Vara, did Governor Newsom order the National Guard? I believe so. I don't know if Governor Newsom did, but the LA County asked for it. I don't know what Newsom's thing is. Kate, congressional candidate came out and not scheduled to vote again until the end of June. So the earliest you get a check, if there is one, mid-July, mid-August. Boy, these two parties are so fantastic. Go to the Capitol building, go to the White House, go to Senator's house. Greg Vara, they called us jihadists at Standing Rock. So fucked up. Melissa H. saw a video of cop in Houston knocking down and stepping on woman with his horse. Disgusting use of innocent animal. Mayor apologized. Oh, as long as the mayor apologized, that's good. Because imagine, flip it for a second. What if this woman had a horse and she trampled a cop? Right? What if someone put their knee on the neck of a police officer until the cop died? The outrage, our cops aren't safe. We're not safe from our own police. Edward Dunning, thank you, Graham. Peace, my brother. You got it. Backyard Politics. What's up, Nikki? Check out her show. Semi-plowed through Minnesota protesters. Protesters apparently pulled the driver and semi-beat him. Beating totally deserved. Yeah, fuck you for driving through those assholes. You go in and start shit? That's what happens. Greg Vera, Trump is declaring Antifa a terrorist group. Aren't they on our side? Why aren't more of us involved with Antifa? You know, he's trying to blame it all on Antifa, and I'm sure there's some noble people with Antifa, but I also firmly believe there's private intelligence inside Antifa to try to agitate and make them. You gotta look at private intelligence's hand trying to stir up all this shit, man. Anna Maxa, hit the like button. Thank you. Matt S. I couldn't care less about Target and Prada getting ransacked, but let's not idolize these looters. They're opportunistic and don't represent the movement in a positive light. Sure, I'm not idolizing them, but I get it. I wish people wouldn't loot, but I get it. I understand it. This is what happens. This is what happens. I wouldn't loot. I wouldn't go do that, but this is what happens. You create this environment. If everybody had jobs and healthcare and was taken care of, this wouldn't need to happen. And what I'm not going to stand for is them, they're all these criminals and trying to, I know the news, what it's trying to do, trying to make white America all scared of the angry blacks. I know what they're trying to do. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And if you're going to spend this much time showing me looters, they're showing me looting footage right now from Long Beach, right now in Long Beach. Then spend the equal amount of time showing me all the looters at Goldman Sachs and the venture capitalists, and show me that. Do it same amount of time. I don't advocate looting. I don't think it's a good thing. I'm not in favor of it, but I get it. And the disproportionate covering of it is what really bothers me. Thanks for supporting the show. Anna Maxa, hit the like button. Humanity, let them eat ice cream. Absolutely. Maxa, hit the like button. Thank you. Barry Johnson. Sorry, just jumped up. Sorry, Barry Johnson. The enemy is Americans. They rely on someone else to fight for them and keep stocking their heads full of sand. Get effing busy for once in your miserable lives. I have and I do. Voting is a joke. A. Gray, be safe and keep on keeping on. Thank you, A. Gray. Jose Ramirez, thank you. Keep up the good work. You got it. Mock Racy, did you watch David Pakman go Biden on Joe Rogan? No. David Pakman, it just wants to be on MSNBC, man. Humanity, we love you, Graham. Thank you. I love all of you. Backyard Politics, we're here for you and we love you. Thank you so much. Rick Gangi, hang in there, Graham. You effing rock it. Thank you. You have a good point. Be well, Graham. I'm sending you a virtual hug right now. I love you, Graham. Thank you for working so hard for me and my husband in Pennsylvania. I'm trying. Thomas M., thank you. DWP2659, shave it. You got it. Shave your knuckles for justice. Roy Scott, Solidarity Graham, much love and appreciation for all that you do. Miss Kim, thank you. Hugging you, thank you. John Silver, love you, buddy. Kathy Lloyd, right on. Thank you, Kathy. That's a funny, whatever that is, you're amazing. So are you. JHSC 0, oh, JH Scott 6. Thank you, Graham, for stepping out today and bringing it live to us, for speaking your feelings on your show today, and for not letting Jolene Maxwell go. No. You're going to call a guy that steals shoes a criminal looter? Then go arrest someone. I mean, go arrest someone who's ruined. Stealing of the shoes. Is somebody's life ruined for the rest of their life? Because that's what happens when you get raped as a kid. At best, you can like spend years sorting through it in support groups, and at best, you can be a decent, productive member of society that is supportive and tries to help other survivors. At best. At best. At best. The fact that I haven't blown my fucking head off or been a junkie or been abusive myself because of what happened to me as a kid is a fucking miracle. You gotta work so hard when you're abused as a kid. You gotta work so hard just to fucking keep your fucking brain straight. You gotta work so hard at it. And it's because some fucking pedophile took that away from you. So I want to see Jolene Maxwell hunted down. I would love to see the cops just show up, riot gear in fucking you, Prince Andrew, and Jolene, you're coming with us. But we're just locked. How come they don't get put down? If a cop put his knee on the neck of Jolene Maxwell, you know, thoughts and prayers. I mean, I'd like her to stand trial so her victims get to see it, but Prince Andrew? Oh. Why can't a horse trample him and then the queen just goes, oh, sorry. Jabril Muhammad, thank you. Andre Stevens, Jane Doe versus Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, case 116 CV 07637 UA, U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, a lawsuit accusing Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein of child rape of a 13-year-old in 1994. Yeah. All those fucking QAnon idiots. Oh, Trump's going to round up. No. He's covering it. William Barr hasn't arrested anybody because Trump is a pedophile. I will not be voting for Donald Trump or Joe Biden. I'm not voting for the lesser of two pedophile rapists. Fuck them. Go outside of their houses. Where's Joe Biden at today? Kate Graham, love your heart and work. Hugs from Logan Square. Right on. Used to live there. Love it. Carrie Mack. Fuck lockdown, fake virus. Seth Peterson, love everything you're doing, Graham. We are with you all the way through this historic times and appreciate your honesty. We must use this moment to force a seismic shift in the way things are done in this country. Absolutely. This is the moment, and we're all seeing we can't rely on anyone else. We can't rely on Bernie or the AOs, the squad or whatever. We can't rely on any of them, man. Don't worry about that, Carrie Mack. It's all good. Deb V, sending you much love and aloha from the Big Island. Oh, mahalo. Vegan Goddess. Right on. Thank you. DB, 4 years. For years, elites kept telling people to lift themselves up by their bootstraps. Now protesters are taking their boots and everyone is upset. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great statement. I'm going to say something to that effect on Twitter. Lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, I don't have boots. All right. A bunch of people just got some boots. Okay. Michelle Lang, how do you feel about the mass murder in Iowa factories, farms of pigs? They are roasting alive millions of pigs by shutting off ventilation to the barns and raising temperatures 150 degrees and then shot in the head. Jesus Christ. We live in such a fucking savage society. There's people hungry and starving and we're just killing pigs and wasting. It's horrible. That's why I'm a vegetarian, man. Like, vegan gun it up. It's awful. Thanks for supporting the show. And that's horrific. God. Ann, love from Canada. Thank you, Ann. Seth Peterson, love everything you're doing, Graham. We're with you all the way through these historic times and appreciate your honesty. We must use this moment. Oh, I guess I missed a couple. Yeah, I got that one. Thank you. I got Seth Peterson. Blog 101. Keep up the good fight. Thank you. Amaf. Cherkassi, V for Vendetta, perfect example of riots. You got that right. Spectrum 86, Graham, how do we fight neo-feudalism? Well, it's kind of stuff like today. It's getting more organized. It's shutting stuff down. It's showing it to people. It's like going like Fee and I were talking about, protesting. So Mayor Garcetti, people have been protesting for 2 months about rent strikes. People have been protesting for 2 months about rent strikes, right? So Mayor Garcetti passed this thing last week saying, oh, there's $100 million we just got to give people, help them out with rent. 50,000 families are going to get $100,000 to help with rent. There's way more than 50,000 people in Los Angeles. I'm here to tell you that. But it was something. And I'm not saying, oh, now we're good. I'm saying that came from pressure protesting outside of his house. And we need to keep up the pressure on Garcetti's house. We need to protest everybody. We need to protest everyone who's in power. Everybody. Republican, Democrat, billionaire, CEO, protest. Protest. Make this so uncomfortable for them that they have to give us everything that we want. No concessions, no table scraps, no, well, we got some things and not. No, 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 no. All of it. All of it. Prison reform, police reform, free health care, student debt forgiveness, stop the money on the wars, all that. John Coyne, lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Ain't got no boots, ain't got no straps. Boom, you got that right. All right, folks. God, I'm hearing more shit outside my door. 637 liked, 649 watching. Thank you so much. I don't know if this show is going to happen tonight that Ron and I are doing. Eventually, we're going to do it. Holy shit, that's the mayor of Santa Monica.
An unlawful assembly has been declared.
Unlawful assembly.
And we have had a curfew in place. At this point, our priority is to protect the safety of the members of the public. We are telling everyone to go home. Tomorrow, we start our recovery. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Chief of Police, Cynthia Renaud.
You need to resign, Cynthia. They got a female cop?
Thank you for a few minutes. I just wanted to reiterate that the City of Santa Monica and the Santa Monica Police Department is here to support peaceful protests, but will not stand for civil unrest and criminal behavior. The Santa Monica Police Department, in coordination with our area law enforcement partners, are actively working in the city. There is a curfew in place. We are asking you to go home, and those who don't, we will begin notifying and making arrests for the curfew violation. Our intent here and our primary goal is to keep everyone safe.
We have a female chief of police.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Gita Mitchell, and on behalf of the Santa Monica Fire Department, we have resources deployed throughout the city with the #1 goal to protect life and property. As this is a dynamic situation, and we'd like to remind everybody to please follow the 4 p.m. curfew. And lastly, if you remember, do not overburden the 911 system. Only call for life-threatening emergencies.
All right, that's the mayor and the chief of police and the chief fire department. All right. Shit. Maniacal 7, shave your knuckles for justice. First time I've given anyone a super chat. You deserve it. Thank you for doing your best. Nobody can ask for more things. What's up, Annabelle? The world is watching the brutality of the American cops. It cannot continue on any level. Love to my American friends. Annabelle's in Australia. They're watching this. You know how Australia's in a lockdown? All these other countries are in lockdowns. It's America where we treat our citizens this way. It's America. Cynthia, Crystal Falk. Thank you, Crystal. Listening to you is moral support. Is more support than I get from my family. Grateful for you. Maybe put a mask on and get a real hug from a fellow protester. We love you, brother. Shave them knuckles. Thank you so much. All right. I need to take a break and get some food. Thank you, everybody. I don't know that we're going to be doing this comedy show tonight, but thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it, and I'll be going live probably tomorrow night for the Rockman stream, but I don't know. It's kind of day to day over here, so I don't know what's going on. Just stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll let you know, and hit the bell notification button and subscribe and all that stuff. I really appreciate everybody's support. Happy K, just wanted to thank you for all you do and want you to know that you're not alone in your fight against prominent pedals like Maxwell. Thank you. The world is a pretty dark place right now, but there's a lot of light in terms of people taking action. I don't condone looting or whatever, but I get it. And it's time to just get more involved in peaceful protest and nonviolent resistance, because they're going to have to wake up to this. They thought this was going to just be a day or two. So Australia is doing black rights protests this week. Right on. Cat Terrell, I'm paying you to take a hydration break. All right. Yeah. I'm hungry and dehydrated. I got to see what's going on in my neighborhood, so I got to make sure my area is safe. Thank you all so much. I'm kind of snot swinging here, so peace and love to everybody. John Coyne, but people like markets and coal. Yeah, where's Granny Petrol through all this? I will be, doing more chats and streams and everything, but I need to sort out what's going on because I keep hearing shit outside my door. So thank you so much. Shave your knuckles for justice. Stay safe, everybody. Love you, and let's all try to make Gotham great again.